Massively, massively different. He's gonna be in a real fight. You know, that's all I can say. I'm a real fighter right now. I've gone through whatever mental challenges I've had.
Fighter. Dubois landed that one shot that maybe would have hurt him, but Usyk was the better fighter by far, the better man.
Daniel Dubois is speaking like a man on a mission, full of fire, passion, and promises to change history. But let's be real, that kind of fire doesn't scare a fighter like Oleksandr Usyk. He's faced far tougher battles and walked through pressure most can't survive. Dubois might believe this is his moment, but he's stepping in with a master. A man who moves with precision, thinks 3 steps ahead, and turns mistakes into openings. Having big dreams is one thing, but Usyk doesn't fight in dreams. He fights in reality. And last time, he made Dubois crumble when it mattered most.
I'm gonna win for a start, and you know, we're gonna just change history. It's gonna be, all eyes are gonna be on this. This is the biggest fight in the world, and I'm so, you know, confident, and I can't.
Dangerous destruction. That's quite the claim from a man who folded under a simple jab. Dubois can talk about being calculated and clever all he wants, but so far there's no proof he's figured out how to crack the Usyk code. You don't beat a technician like Oleksandr Usyk by throwing wild shots and hoping one lands. To win, you need ring intelligence, adaptability, and a mindset that doesn't break under pressure. Dubois brings aggression, no doubt about it, but aggression without control, that's not a strength. It's a weakness, especially against a fighter who dissects you mentally long before the first clean punch even lands. Still, not everyone sees it that way. Some think Usyk might finally be slowing down. Let's hear what Johnny Nelson has to say.
Clever, smart, but you know, a dangerous destruction. That's my style, and I can't wait to put it on him. I just can't wait, really.
Johnny Nelson says Usyk might be on his way out, but that's a risky assumption. Just because Usyk is quiet doesn't mean he's losing focus. It usually means he's locked in. People have doubted him before, and every time he's delivered when it mattered most. That's not someone who's slipping. That's someone who knows exactly what he's doing. So now the question is, who do you believe in? Dubois or Usyk? Let us know in the comments below. And Johnny's not done, because up next he explains why Usyk's biggest strength isn't his power, it's his mindset.
Usyk talking like that, he's got 1 foot out already if he's talking like that. That means, as far as I'm concerned, I sense his appetite is slipping away. He's very professional, gets the job done, knows what he has to do in the ring and in training. But to me, he's now 1 foot out.
Johnny Nelson puts it simply, Usyk isn't just a fighter, he's a thinker, and in the ring that makes all the difference. While Dubois sticks to what he's trained and memorized, Usyk adjusts in real time, reading, reacting, staying 1 step ahead. At this level, raw power alone won't win you the fight. It's not just strength against strength, it's strategy versus force. And Usyk, he's already proven which one wins.
I believe Usyk, he has the ability to think in the ring. Daniel has the ability to remember in the ring, and if you can think in the ring, it means you can change the direction of a fight.
Ben Shalom is standing by Dubois, and fair enough. But let's not twist the facts. Yes, Dubois lasted 9 rounds, but let's be honest, he didn't win a single one. The venue, the ref, the crowd, none of that changes what played out in the ring. From the very first bell, Usyk controlled the pace, the rhythm, and the space. And when it came time to stay composed under pressure, Dubois cracked mentally and physically. That jab, it wasn't just a shot, it was a spotlight on the gap between hype and high-level temperament. All this talk about a bad decision is just noise, a way to shift focus from the truth. Usyk adapted, adjusted, and dismantled a younger fighter piece by piece. That's the mark of a champion. Dubois has heart, no doubt, but this stage isn't about heart alone. It's about brilliance, timing, and the IQ to stay 3 steps ahead. And when it comes to that level of mastery, Usyk isn't just ahead, he's playing a different game. Now let's shift gears, because the mindset gap we just saw here, it might play a huge role in the showdown between Crawford and Canelo, and the big names in boxing. They're already weighing in.
And I felt sorry for Daniel on Saturday night. He could have become, on another day, with a different referee in a different location, whether it was the right decision or the wrong decision, he could have become a
Eddie Hearn's a master promoter. He knows how to sell a fight, but giving Daniel Dubois a serious shot against Usyk, That feels more like wishful thinking than reality. This isn't just about inactivity, it's about levels, and Usyk has been operating on a different one entirely. He's coming off a run of dominant wins against unified champions, fighters far more experienced and seasoned than Dubois. Sure, Dubois was lined up to face Joe Parker, but that fight didn't happen, and skipping that step doesn't suddenly make him ready for a ring technician like Usyk. Hearn says it's a fight Dubois could win, and technically sure, anyone could land the perfect shot, but let's be honest, Usyk's one of the hardest fighters to hit clean. If you can't out-jab him, can't match his footwork, can't outthink him, what are you really bringing to the table? Because at this level, hope isn't a game plan. Yes, Dubois has raw strength, but Usyk brings strategy, poise, and elite ring IQ, and unless Dubois has transformed overnight into a new kind of fighter, Hearn's confidence sounds more like marketing spin than real belief. And if you thought that was generous, just wait until Carl Froch speaks up, because even he admits Usyk's the clear favorite.
Dubois shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but you know, it's exciting, and I think definitely
Carl Froch keeps it real, and it's refreshing to hear someone speak plainly about the threat Usyk still poses. Yes, Dubois has developed. He's stronger, more confident, and clearly made changes, but let's not overstate it with talk of him being a different machine. Improved physicality doesn't automatically beat technical brilliance, and confidence can't erase what Usyk has already shown us, clear superiority in almost every department. Froch rightly calls Usyk the favorite. That's not hype. That's just the truth. Sure, Usyk isn't getting younger, and maybe he's not quite as fast as he once was, but slowing down a touch doesn't suddenly make him vulnerable to someone whose style is still relatively straightforward and who's shown cracks under pressure. Time moves forward for everyone, but right now, Usyk still has more than enough left to outthink, outmove, and outclass a fighter like Dubois. In the end, Froch's comments don't hype anything up, they just reinforce what most observers already know. Usyk's footwork, fight IQ, and control of the ring are still on another level, and if Dubois wants to close that gap, it's gonna take more than physical strength and belief. But if you thought Froch was fair, Carl Frampton takes things even further, and when it comes to assessing Dubois' progress, he doesn't hold back.
The shot on here, this is a good shot, it's a body shot. The referee didn't do that. Bottom part of the glove was on the actual shorts, on his scrotum area, really quite low, too low really. So it was a legitimate low blow. Had Usyk been told that's not a low blow and the referee would have...
Carl Frampton makes a reasonable point. Yes, Dubois has improved, but let's not confuse growth with greatness. Being better than your former self doesn't automatically mean you're ready to beat someone like Usyk. Improvement is part of the journey, sure, but to dethrone a fighter as complete as Usyk, you need more than just progress. You need precision, patience, and poise under pressure, because Usyk's movement, timing, and shot selection are still world-class. He doesn't just survive your strengths, he takes them apart, and while Dubois has added size, speed, and a little more maturity, he hasn't yet shown that he can handle the kind of mental and physical pressure Usyk brings. Frampton isn't hyping Dubois, he's being measured. He's not saying Daniel will win. He's just saying he's not the same man who mentally checked out in the last fight. And that's fair. It matters, but it doesn't change the odds. At best, Dubois might last longer this time, but lasting longer isn't the same as winning. Because once Usyk finds your rhythm, he starts breaking you down piece by piece. And when that happens, all that better can disappear fast. But before the dust even settles, boxing royalty enters the conversation. Lennox Lewis speaks up with belief in Dubois, but is it grounded in reality?
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight. But in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury fights.
Lennox Lewis backing Daniel Dubois. That's a bold take. But let's be honest, being a legend doesn't always mean you can spot the next one. Sure, Lennox sees the raw potential. Dubois has the size, the strength, and the drive. But saying he's ready to beat someone like Usyk assumes he already has the tools to do it. And right now, that's still just an assumption. Yes, Pedigree is important, but what really counts at this level is experience, and Usyk has walked through fire against world champions, knockout artists, and elite technicians, and never lost his composure. Dubois may have had a solid camp, but Usyk lives in this world. He breathes it. He's mastered the pace, the pressure, the psychology of war inside the ring. Lennox's faith sounds more like national pride than pure fight logic. And that's understandable, but let's call it what it is. Dubois hasn't beaten anyone near Usyk's caliber, and now he's stepping right back into that same storm, hoping that heart and grit will carry him where skill didn't the first time. But against someone like Usyk, heart alone isn't enough. You need patience, timing, and complete control, because once Usyk finds his rhythm, there's no storm to survive, just a slow, calculated breakdown.
Task, but he's definitely the man that can go through with it. He's done the work, he's gone through the pedigree, and he's a certified champion. So, I think he has big hopes on doing it. He's going to do it.
Tony Bellew steps in swinging, and he brings the truth with him. The low blow talk, time to let it go. Usyk's always fought clean, and that night was no different. People forget Dubois was already fading before that shot landed. The momentum was shifting, and not in his favor. Bellew cuts through the noise and focuses on what really matters. Levels. Usyk isn't just a fighter. He's a system, timing, movement, strategy, mental discipline. You don't shake that with one big punch or a moment of pressure. Dubois knows what it feels like to be outclassed, and no excuse can rewrite that experience. Bellew also zeroes in on something critical, the psychological edge. Usyk has it. Dubois still doesn't. When Usyk enters the ring, he's calm, calculated, and fully prepared. Dubois enters with hope, and hope, Bellew reminds us, is not a strategy. This isn't just a fight, it's a chess match. And Usyk, he's not cheating the system. He is the system, a master of control who punishes those who mistake calm for weakness. If Dubois is walking in with revenge on his mind, he's about to relearn a painful lesson. Usyk doesn't give second chances, he delivers second reminders. And if Bellew's truth hit hard, Dave Caldwell takes it a step further, breaking down Usyk's so-called wear and tear, and putting Dubois' growth under a spotlight.
Where Dubois is now, he's very confident, very bullish, but Usyk's older, he's had more wear and tear. The fights with Fury have taken a lot out of him. Don't underestimate that. But Usyk's he's a different animal. He's a different animal. And ultimately, you got to remember, take away that one shot, whether you thought it was low or not, that one bit of drama, take away that.
Dave Caldwell brings some balance to the conversation, and that's rare in a hype-heavy build-up. He gives Dubois credit where it's due. Yes, the confidence is real, and yes, Dubois has shown visible growth since their last meeting, but Caldwell doesn't let that cloud the bigger picture. Confidence alone doesn't beat a fighter like Usyk. You need more. Much more. Usyk's been through wars, Fury, Joshua, Gassiev. He's taken shots, weathered storms, and never lost control. That's not just toughness, that's championship DNA. Caldwell puts it plainly, Usyk's a different kind of animal. He doesn't just win fights, he drains you mentally, breaks your rhythm, shuts down your momentum, takes your strengths and turns them into openings. And about that low blow moment, Caldwell doesn't dwell on it because it didn't change the outcome. By that point, Usyk had already taken control. He was already reading Dubois like a book. That shot was just the first crack in a wall already set to fall. So yes, Dubois is coming in bullish, but bulls can be broken, especially by someone who doesn't just survive punishment, he thrives under it. That's the mark of a generational fighter. Even when Usyk looks hurt, he's thinking, calculating, setting traps, and that's why he's still the man to beat. But just as the temperature starts rising, here comes Tyson Fury, stepping in with mischief, bold claims, and a backing of Dubois. But is it genuine belief, or just classic Fury deflection? Tyson Fury's message to Dubois. It's classic Fury, half encouragement, half backhanded jab. Telling Daniel to just do your best might sound supportive on the surface, but let's be honest, it's not exactly a vote of confidence. That's the truth behind the grin. Fury knows exactly what Usyk brings to the ring. He tips his hat to the body shot that dropped Usyk last time, but even he doesn't pretend it changed the course of the fight, because Usyk did what true champions do. He got up, refocused, and took over. Anyone can land a punch. Very few can recover the way Usyk did. That moment revealed more about Usyk's championship mindset than any supposed weakness. Fury's sarcasm isn't just for show. His tone says it all. He doesn't actually believe Dubois can pull it off. He's poking from the sidelines, stirring the pot, but not truly backing the man in the ring. The idea that Dubois can recreate that one body shot and flip the fight on its head, it's wishful thinking. Usyk felt Dubois' best, and he walked through it. Now he's wiser, sharper, and more locked in than ever. Tyson might hype up Dubois with his usual antics, but even he knows Usyk is a different breed. And while Fury's out here playing mind games, Dubois' trainer, Don Charles, has to face reality. Because he knows the truth about that first fight. It wasn't just one mistake, it was a complete breakdown.
Fight. Good fight. Where Dubois is now, he's very confident, very bullish. But Usyk's older, he's had more wear and tear. The fights with Fury have taken a lot out of him. Don't underestimate that. But Usyk's just, he's a different animal. He's a different animal. And ultimately, you got to remember, take away that one shot, whether you thought it was low or not, that one bit of
Don Charles is doing his best to stay in control of the story, but if you listen closely, the cracks are there. He doesn't say there was a mistake. He says they need to rectify it. That's not just coach speak. That's quietly admitting they got it wrong the first time. And against someone like Usyk, one mistake doesn't just cost you a round. It snowballs into a complete unraveling. Charles clearly believes in Dubois, and fair enough, he sees the raw power, the athleticism, the potential. But at this level, belief isn't enough. This isn't about who hits harder, it's about who thinks faster, adapts better, and stays composed when the game changes mid-fight. Usyk isn't the kind of opponent you figure out with one adjustment. He forces you to solve problems you didn't even know were coming. Charles says Dubois has what it takes. But what does that mean? Because in their first meeting, power and size didn't matter. What was missing was composure, timing, and the ability to adapt on the fly. That's not something you fix with one good training camp. That's something you earn through hard battles and tough nights. Usyk is a 12-round puzzle that never stays the same. You don't beat him with rehearsed combinations. You beat him with instincts sharpened through world-level experience. Don Charles might be trying to lift his fighter, but the truth is right there between the lines. Team Dubois is still correcting errors, while Usyk is chasing greatness. Usyk is chasing legacy.
Believe in Daniel Dubois as a fighter, that he's got what it takes to be successful against Oleksandr Usyk.
Everything now hangs in the balance. The talking is over. The excuses, the low blow debates, everything now hangs in the balance. The talking's done. No more low blow debates. No more redemption slogans. Because the moment that bell rings again, every excuse disappears. For Daniel Dubois, this isn't just about revenge. It's about redemption. It's about rewriting the memory of a night where, deep down, even he knows he checked out. But here's the thing. Usyk hasn't forgotten either. He remembers the shot, the crowd, the pressure, and how he got up, adjusted, and broke Dubois down round by round. Now he's back, sharper, colder, and laser-focused on ending this story for good. Could Dubois land something clean? Sure. In boxing, one punch can change everything. But Usyk isn't just tough to hit. He's nearly impossible to read. He downloads your rhythm, breaks your timing, and starts feeding doubt into your head, jab by jab. And once that hesitation creeps in, it's already over. That's what makes this more than a rematch. It's a mental chess match under fire. For Usyk, this is legacy. For Dubois, it's survival. The pressure, it's suffocating. A win for Usyk extends a historic run, maybe straight into another super fight at the top. But if Dubois pulls it off, it shatters the heavyweight order and hands the crown to an unexpected king. Still, class doesn't lie, and right now, Usyk's class is levels above. Dubois has heart, but Usyk has the whole engine. So now it's your turn. Are you riding with the master or betting it all on chaos? Drop your prediction in the comments. This one's personal, and it starts the second that first bell rings.